Hi fifth graders, Miss Lacasse here. I'm going to go over your math lesson for today with line plots. So before we go to our actual line plot of the day, I want to do a little review with you from what Mrs. McCafferty taught you on Monday about some of these vocab words you're going to see again in today's lesson. So if you look over here on the left, we have some of those vocab words that she was going over. We have average, which is also called the mean. We have mode, we have median, and then we also have range. On this side, we have definitions of all four, and we're going to try to match them to the correct vocab word. We have over here number in the middle, the difference between the highest and lowest value, the number that occurs most often, and the typical amount for that group of data. So I'm going to give you a second real quick and think about which word on this side matches with this definition on the right, and then we're going to go over those. All right, now that you have some time to think about it, let's start with the first one, average and mean. Which one of these definitions on the right did you think matched it? If you chose the typical amount for that group of data, you would be correct. Next one we have over here is mode. Now the way I remember mode is MO. MO is the number that occurs most often. Next word we have is the word median. Median is also the middle of the road, so I know that that is going to be my number that I'm looking for in the middle of my data. And let's just verify that the last one makes sense. That is going to be my range, which is going to be the difference between the highest and lowest values on that. So hopefully that was a good review for you to think about those words as we look at a brand new line plot today. So what your job is when you get to a line plot is, I usually just like to take a moment to look at the data on this line plot and just see what it's telling me before I even jump into answering those questions. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about what is this line plot showing me. Okay, so some things I noticed. I noticed that this graph, if I look at it, has a title, and it's telling me right there, the title is telling me how much time that was spent watching TV during the weekend. I also notice on this line plot that there is a key down here that tells me every X stands for one person. I noticed that the label right here at the bottom says hours. It could have been in minutes because we can watch things in minutes, but this one is actually showing us in hours. I also noticed that there are some people who watch 0 hours of TV as the smallest amount, and then I see on this side 2.5, that some people watch up to 2.5 hours of TV during the weekend. I'm guessing during this time most of us are watching more than 2.5 hours. Okay. I also noticed the numbers under. This one's a half. Oh, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. I notice it's counting by halves, and I notice that now I may have to do some math involving fractions, but that's okay because we are really good at doing fractions. So again, I would take a few seconds just to look at what the chart is telling you before you start to answer those questions. And then you're also going to need to know some of those vocabulary words that Mrs. McCafferty went over. Okay, here we go. First question. How many students were surveyed in all? Okay, so I remember when I looked at the graph, X stands for one person. So if I look above the 0, that's 2 students that were surveyed. Above a half, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 above 1 hour. So I can actually just count my X's. I just want to make sure I don't miss any. 3 and 1. So then I would just go ahead and add those up. So 2 plus 4 is, I'm going to do 6, plus 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 3 plus 1 is 4 again. And then if I make that easy, 6 plus 4 is 10, plus another 4 would be 14 students. So I know for this survey that they actually surveyed 14 students because that's how many X's were in my line plot graph. Number 2, how many students watch TV during the week? I feel like that's the same answer. Maybe I should just put 14 here because how many surveyed in all, how many during the week, how many watched it, that would be the same. Oh, but I could take out zeros. I see something tricky here. I remember when I was looking at the title of this graph that it said time spent watching TV during the weekend. This question says how many students watch TV during the week. This graph doesn't tell me anything about the week. It only talks about the weekend. So for this one, I'm going to say unable to answer. Graph shows data about TV watched during the weekend, not the week. Tricky. All right, number 3. What is the range of the data? So if I go back to my definition of range, it's a typical amount for that group of data. So it's the difference between the highest and lowest value, excuse me. And so I'm going to go with the highest. Again, the most someone watched during, out of these 14 people anyway, was 2.5. You might be thinking, oh no, fractions, subtracting, but let's see what the problem is first. And then the lowest, which would actually be 0. Difference means I'm going to subtract them. Oh, well that's easy. Even though it's a fraction, anytime I take 0 away, I am left with that same number. So the range would just be 2.5 hours. All right, number 4, determine the mode. So mode, again, remember, is the number that occurs MO, most often. Okay, and this one for me, I think that I just look at the chart up here. So on my chart up here, which one has the most X's above it? And in this case, it looks like for sure the half has 4 people. Okay, so the mode occurring most would be 1/2 hour. Great, okay, moving on. Number 5, how many students spent 1 or more hours watching TV? So this one I'm going to look at 1 or more. That's the tricky one. So make sure you're not just counting the one on number 1 hour. You need to go 1 and above 1. So it looks like 3 students on 1 hour, 1 student on 1.5 hours, 3 students on 2, and 1, which would make that 4 + 4. So 8 students spent 1 or more hours watching TV that day. Next we have, what is the median number of hours spent watching TV during the weekend? So I'm going to look at this word median, which means I believe the number in the middle. So again, I'm going to take all my sets of data and make them into a list from least to greatest. So it's going to look like 0, and there's 2 zeros, 2 X's above the 0, so that's why I put 2 zeros here. How many X's above the 1/2? 4, so I have to write 1/2 4 times. Okay, moving on, 1, I have 3, so 3 ones. Only 1.5 ones, or 1.5. 3 2s. And finally 1 2.5. Then I need to cross those off and find out which one is in the middle. This is the fun part. This number I get is actually 1. So my median is actually 1 hour for that one. Number 7 on this same line plot graph for watching TV says, determine the total number of hours spent watching TV. And I could, if I wanted to, add up all those numbers, but I'm going to use my smart 5th grade brain, and instead I'm going to use some multiplication that's going to help me add up all of those numbers on my chart. So I'm going to group things together like we have done before. So I'm going to start with how many zeros are there? There's 2. And I have to add that to how many 1/2s. So I look at how many 1/2s. We already said there were 4 1/2s. Add it again. Ones, there's 3 1s. The next value would be 1 1/2, and there are 1 of those. Add that. Next number is 2. There are 3 2s. And last but not least, 2 1/2, and there are 1 of those. So I get this really long equation that might look super overwhelming to you, and you might think, oh no, fractions and a lot of math involved in here. But if I actually start to solve these, don't be afraid of fractions. Go with what you know on this, and it will actually become quite easy. So anytime I know anything is multiplied by 0, that number becomes 0, okay? 1/2 4 times, so that'd be 4 halves, which is equivalent to the whole number of 2. So far, that's pretty easy. 1 times 3, 3. Ooh, fraction, but really it's just multiplied 1 time, so that number is going to stay the same as 1 1/2. 2 times 3, 6. And another fraction, oh, same thing, 2 1/2. So now I have a little bit shorter equation to solve here to try to add up all those numbers to determine the total amount of time spent watching TV. What I notice is I have 2 halves, and so I'm going to use the commutative property and associative to group them together. Commutative to move them next to each other, and then associative to group them. And then I'm going to put all the rest of the whole numbers, 2, 0, 2, 3, and 6, because those will be easy to add. So 1 1/2 plus 2 1/2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1/2 plus 1/2 would be 4. And then I have 0 plus 2 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 6 is 11. Oh, turns out this problem wasn't as hard as I thought. So 4 plus 11 is 15 hours. So we have 15 hours total that these 14 people spent watching TV during that week. Last problem, what is the average or the mean number of hours that were watched on the TV? Round your number to the nearest whole number. So again, I have to kind of know what the average or the mean is. And in this case, I know that you have to add up all of the data first. That was my step 1 from Mrs. McCafferty, which it looks like I actually did on problem 7. So I really have 15 hours divided by, and then what I know about mean is I have to divide it by how many numbers I added up, which if I look back, I believe on question 1 was 14 people that were surveyed. So I have 14 hours divided by 15 hours divided by 14 people. And then if I solve that over here, that is going to look like 14 divided by 15. 14 can only go into 15 one time. So my remainder is 1/14. And if I want to round 1 hour and 1/14 to the nearest, which is what it says, to the nearest whole number, I know that this is very close to almost 0. And so my answer is going to be that the average is going to be 1 hour. All right, good luck. Your line plots for today are going to involve fractions just like they did on this problem. And just make sure that you look back for your answers. Great job.